Good morning, it's Jonathan Barratt with the morning debrief for April the 27th. That's Tuesday, April the 27th, coming back after the Anzac holidays. Obviously the overseas markets were all open. The Australian markets were closed up until SICOM last night opened. But quite a flat night across the board, and the Dow not trying to find out where it wants to go, and all the other markets pretty quiet, although we did see cotton come off 2-year high, and obviously a lot of our locals, a lot of cotton growers who actually feel should actually be locking in some of the US leg of sales there. But anyway, let's move on and let's have a look at how the markets operated last night, and a quick summary here. As mentioned, the Dow was down, or was up 0.75 of a point, very quiet at 11,205. The S&P was down 5.23. The Nasdaq was off 7.2. So equity markets pretty quiet. Major news there, machinery stocks were up, financials were down, and that was purely on the back of some financial legislation concerning earnings, and a little bit of jitters there. Also remember, we do have the FOMC meeting coming up tomorrow with obviously an announcement on interest rates. We don't expect anything to come of that at the moment. Okay, so they're the main things. Just looking through the news, not a lot there. Some people say in the US the stocks are the cheapest since 1990, and I think a lot of analysts are set to increase estimates there. So that in itself is something to be mindful of. Really not a lot on the other side of the thing there. So let's, I think, on the economic side, Greece nears aid by mid-May, and obviously the Prime Minister there warns against betting against default. Obviously he's got a deal. And also a little bit of news there on the one, but that's probably about it in terms of major stuff last night. As you can see, the market was all pretty quiet, and things did basically just trade in a range. Okay, let's have a look at the normal markets, just the closes via the Falcon Trader, and let's have a look at some markets. As we know, we normally kick off with the dollar index. US dollar in itself, as you can see, pretty quiet night, but we had a test of that 81.30 area, 35. So I think if that area goes, then you can see by the bigger picture that this might be a potential for a break to the downside, which might see some dollar weakness emerge. Let's stay pretty close to what happens there. We have sort of pretty much broken through this trend. There we are. And if we can't get back through that 81.50 area, then you'll probably see a correction, and we'll be in for some dollar weakness. That's the hourly chart for the dollar index. The daily chart in itself, as you can see there, by breaking out through that level, you can see that there's more potential there for dollar weakness rather than strength. That might support things as well. Having a look there as a result of that on the Aussie, you can see the Aussies find it difficult to move. Still within a range, and we haven't got basically haven't got clear direction for that Aussie at the moment. It's a little bit difficult. But there's one currency which I want us to have a look at. That gives you a little bit better picture on that Aussie. Well, if it takes out that high, then you'll see it up to a new leg. Is that euro? Have a quick look at that euro. There it is there. Double bottom down here, and I think if that weakness emerges, that euro looks like a buy. And as I said, I don't mind having a look at that euro around these levels, and probably look at a chance to get long the euro against the US. Okay, let's have a look at some of the others now. Some of the primaries. Crude, obviously crude back just a little bit there. There's the daily chart there. Let's have a look at the hourly. A little bit mixed there, but came off its highs from 80 and down. Very hard to find a trade there. Copper in itself, a little bit mixed. We took out half our copper position the other day. Just a little bit unsure, and there you can see it there on the hourly chart, trying to get a little bit of a lead as to what's occurring there, and really hard, but I do think that we're basically, with that dollar weakness coming, that we should get a lift in some of the commodities. You can see that also when you start to look at some of the softs, but before we have a look at the softs, let's have a quick look at gold. There's gold, actually feeling as if it looks to have another head to the top side, and wouldn't be surprised if that happens pretty soon. So I guess you can get a sense or get a feeling that We're feeling that this dollar can come under pressure now, and if that's the case, then we'll get a lift out of some of these commodities. Let's just have a quick look at wheat. That was a big move on wheat, and also, oh, that was corn. I know wheat had a huge move to the downside, but the way it's been looking, look, it's I'll have to check that move. That looks quite ferocious, but I don't think it's that volatile. If we have a quick look at corn, but one thing I have noticed about the softs is that the dips are well supported, and that's something we should look at. There we go, and let's have a look there. Yeah, look, not an easy trade, but there's a trade. I think I'd probably like the gold more so at the moment, gold and the euro. Okay, let's have a quick look at the local market. 48.96 is where it closed on SICOM. It's a little bit volatile. Remember, the day session hasn't been. We've been out for 1 day, so that might provide a little bit of support for it. Let's see how that goes. But as I said, the US was flat, so we might not get a lot of lead. That's what it looks like in terms of the chart. Probably expected to come back a little bit as well. This sort of formation is quite solid, but you need to see a break through that level, through that 49.15, in order to conclude that it is going higher. In terms of economic news, what do we have today? As I said, the FOMC meeting tomorrow is the big one. We've got producer prices in Australia, the NAB Business Confidence. In the States, we've got the Case-Shiller Home Price Index and Consumer Confidence and ABC Consumer Confidence. These two are pretty important because we need that sentiment to remain firm, and if that sentiment is good, well, that should bode quite well for some of these equities. In Japan, we've got retail trade and large retail sales. So I guess in a nutshell, there's a lot of data happening, some more important data with the FOMC out the next couple of days. Keep an eye on that euro and that US dollar, because I think if we do get that weakness coming in the US dollar, then that will provide a better lift for gold and also the euro. So they're the two trades I'm going to keep an eye on, the gold and euro at the moment, and let's see if we can get a bit of a lift from there. But that's about it from us. I hope you have a good day, happy trading, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.